Hey everybody, it's Jim with Triple J Bricks. Welcome back to another video. Today is a very big day. Today is the first video that I will be making that is documenting the creative ideas and concepts and characters that I have for our future castle MOC that's going to take place right here. And I have been sitting on this for a little bit. I've been just going back and forth, like, should I show it now? Should I show it later? But you know what? I need some creative pressure. I just need to keep moving forward. And honestly, like with the sorting and the cleaning and all that kind of stuff, like these videos, making these videos have like helped push me to do some of these things maybe a little faster, right? I think we all do this. We kind of find excuses to not do something. And I've decided that I don't have everything set in stone. It's totally a rough like sketch, but these ideas have been in my head for a while now, and a long while now, and I need to get them out, and I want to share them with you because I think that'll help shape some more ideas that I have. And also I finally have some of the characters actually built up in minifigure form. And so we're going to go through kind of just my thoughts for the lore and a rough sketch of the layout of our future castle MOC. So let's take a look. Okay, so here it is. This is my really, really rough sketch. If you've ever been to one of my streams over on Twitch, you will know my doodle skills are not good. So literally, this was in my brain for such a long time, and I've decided to finally get it down on paper. And so here it is. This is what it is. It's sitting up against the remnants of Rivendell here. But essentially, think of this piece of paper as if it's sitting like this, it's going to be, think of it as the 3D version of this space. So this big giant white top is this piece of paper. That's the best way to think about it. I mean, obviously I have to sketch this into like different angles and actually do it a little bit better to really kind of see what I want to make. But essentially, there's going to be a giant mountain that's going to sit kind of where the Lion Knight's castle is. It's really not as big, I don't think, as it is in this sketch. I don't think it's going to actually be that big, but there's going to be a mountain that's going to kind of come down, and then there's going to be like a river. I'm not sure if that river, so this long thing here, this is a river, right? And so that's going to either come out of the mountain, this trickle down, it's going to come along here, and it's going to meet up with the road, which is this mountain pass road. It's going to have a little bridge over it, and then this is like the King's Road. So there's going to be a mountain pass here, and that's going to be sort of open right here because there will be some things going through it. I'll explain the story in a second of what I'm thinking, but the King's Road is going to actually pass through the outpost. So essentially the way I'm thinking of it is this Lion Knight's outpost is this tower, and it's sort of like a supply drop stop. And so it's the King's Road. There will be a gate, and every cart, every merchant is going to have to go through this gate, and, they can pay taxes or whatever and spend the night. Maybe there's a small inn for soldiers and things like that. So there's going to be this outpost here, and this river is going to run also through like a little grate kind of at the bottom. Think Lord of the Rings, think Two Towers, right? And Helm's Deep. Think of that kind of a thing where the river is going to pass through, okay? That's going to become important later. So in the mountain itself, there will be a wizard tower, and that's going to look, I'm excited to build that. And then we're going to have a big forest here, and then there's going to be a little Forestmen hideout kind of in the back here. Again, it's not a massive amount of space, but it is doable, I think, as long as we keep things separated enough where it feels realistic. But again, some of that scale and things are going to have to still working through that, right? This is all rough. This is just sort of like the ideas and the story and the concept I've had in my head. So the story is that the Lion Knight's outpost has taken a prisoner of the Black Falcons, and they are holding him in the jail cell here until they can return to the keep and the kingdom. At the same time, there is a gold shipment or gems or gold, some sort of money that they had stolen that has been accumulated here, and they're keeping it here again until they can bring it back. Now, the Forestmen are looking to steal that gold. At the same time, the Black Falcons are trying to free their lord. While they're attacking the outpost, the Forestmen are sneaking through the grate in the river, busting through while that's all happening, and sneaking around the back way to then steal the gold while the Lion Knights are distracted. I'll explain the Wizard Tower and that kind of concept in a bit. It seems like maybe it's a lot going on at once, like it's a lot of story to tell within a small space, but I think it'll work, and I think it'll be pretty cool. I don't know. It's been something that's been in my head for a while. I really wanted to make something with the Lion Knights. I wanted to make something with the Forestmen, and the Black Falcons, but I really, really want to build a Black Falcon castle. The problem is, I just think that for right now with this space, I have to be realistic about what we're building and the amount of parts I have. As many parts as I have that fill these drawers and all that kind of stuff, I don't even know if I'm going to have enough to actually do this. Like, I don't. I probably won't. I think building the mountain is going to be... This is all beyond what I can probably do at this point. But you know what? You gotta try. And I'm totally willing to go on this journey with all of you and make epic fails and be like, oh, that was way more than I could do myself. And I didn't realize how hard this was going to be and all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm here. I'm here for it because that's the joy of this. Like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be frustrating, but that's fine. That's part of the creative process, and I love it. So, yeah, so that's my, that's kind of the rough concept. Let's take a look at some of the characters. Okay, so again, the characters are not set in stone, but these are sort of the main players that I have. And I thought what we would go through first is our Lion Knight Lord. He is sweating. He has this little, like, bowl cut kind of thing going on. In my head, he's sort of the knight that isn't really prepared for what could happen. Like, puts on a brave kind of a face, but is actually not as confident as he thinks, and maybe not as talented as a leader, but maybe he's, like, I don't know, the king's son or a nephew or just someone who maybe got a job they probably weren't qualified for. But so he's going to be the sort of lord of this outpost. And he's the one responsible for everything that's kind of happening. Behind him are two, like, king's guards. Now, they don't have Lion Knight's shields. Again, this is not set in stone. I took some Lion Knight torsos with the legs, and I gave them the helmets and the plumes, but there's not a whole lot signifying that they're Lion Knights. I kind of feel like these two are like the guards to this guy. Yeah, I don't know. And then behind them are these guys, which are really cool. These were torsos that I found in the pick-a-brick, or not pick-a-brick, sorry, in the build a minifigure section. It was actually in Hong Kong. Which I know is crazy. There was a Lego store in the airport in Hong Kong when we were on our way to Bali, and I stopped in there, and they had these torsos, which I had not seen. I don't know what set these come from, but they have the lion head on it, and so I just paired them with the legs, and I swapped out the arms to be blue. And so the way I'm kind of signifying the rank here is that if you're a high-ranking official or a king or queen or something, you're going to have white arms. If you're like a higher sort of tiered guard or like knight or something, you're going to have the red arms, and then the blue arms are going to be like the staff, and then just all the other regular knights. So I've kind of thought this through. Again, it's not set in stone. I basically just took these shield elements and I put like a silver tile on them. I don't know. But yeah, so that is this guy. He is trying to make sure that none of this falls apart and he doesn't, lose his head. Next up are our Black Falcons. Now, this is one that I actually don't have a massive idea on how I want to portray them yet. But this is our Black Falcon Lord, or high-ranking knight, I'm not really sure. He has been kidnapped, so he is going to be in the jail cells in the prison within the Lion Knight's outpost. I actually gave him an old version. So this is an old Black Falcon torso from like the 90s that I have, because I have older sets from like the 90s. And it's kind of scuffed up and it's a little different than the torsos that are the modern torsos, I suppose. And so I gave him this old one because it looks a little battered and beaten. He's kind of got like a bruise on his face and stuff. I have capes coming. I have a cape that's tattered that's coming that I would like to swap that out with. So he's going to have like a tattered cape and he'll be sitting in the jail cell. And then I put hoods on these guys. I don't know exactly how I want to frame the Black Falcon attack yet, in terms of, are they just kind of coming at them? So basically their idea is they're coming through the mountain pass on the King's Road, and then they're going to be attacking through that mountain pass and maybe trying to do like an ambush. But again, so I'm not really sure yet. So I gave them hoods if there's going to be an ambush, and I like how the hoods look on them, but I don't know if that's the right move. So again, I think these will change. They'll probably end up being fully kitted out with, you know, armor and all that kind of stuff. But this is what I have so far for this guy. Here are our Forestmen and our Forestmen leader. Again, this torso is an old Forestmen torso, whereas these are like the newer versions. And then he's got a couple, archers behind him with hoods and things, and he also is wearing a cape. And this is actually a cape from the Mandalorian sets, the Mandalorian cape. It's narrower than the other capes. If you can see this guy, these are the normal capes on the right here, and this is like the Mandalorian capes. They look really, really cool. I got this idea from Goldfire, who has an awesome YouTube channel. I will link that down below if you haven't checked it out. Goldfire makes really awesome castle videos and has some really great ideas. So I was watching his videos and I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a great idea. So I have ordered more of these actually as well. They look great with archers. So big shout out to Goldfire. Thank you for that idea. I am totally stealing it. So this is sort of our leader of the Forestmen, and they're going to be attacking or doing their ambush on the Lion Knight Keep or outpost rather, to get the gold. So again, not set in stone, nothing crazy right now, but this is just sort of putting together ideas. Okay, and here is our wizard. So this wizard and his pup. Now wizards, here's the thing. I want to make this very, very, very light fantasy in terms of what the wizards are. Now, he's not going to be like the typical sort of wizard where he's just got like the potions and he's like an astronomer or something and he's got the blue robes and things. I wanted to make him a little bit more grounded in reality, but still sort of this like magical being, I guess. Like I don't know. So I gave him this little staff with this little like rock piece on it. Made this little staff for him. This beard and headpiece are actually from Gloin from the Rivendell set. So I took those for him. And then this is actually Elrond's robe and torso from Rivendell. So I used that for this, who is our wizard. And then he's got a pup instead of like, you know, a cat or a owl or whatever. He's got a little dog friend. And in my head, he's going to be like more of this natural herb, almost more like a forest witch or something, where he's got like herbs and he maybe grows like these beautiful gardens and does these things and kind of keeps to himself, but he's also sort of he's not really on anybody's side per se, but he definitely will deal with both ends, and people are kind of like afraid of him because who knows what kind of power he wields. So this guy comes into play. I really wanted to build a wizard tower. He doesn't have a lot to do with this story, but I'm kind of feeling like when I build this whole scene, that the story will kind of carry on, or bits and pieces of this will come back in future MOC ideas. So maybe this will come more into play, but I kind of want to leave like Easter eggs. And honestly, I just kind of wanted to build a wizard tower. I think that would be a really cool thing. And this was actually the first figure I put together. And I really liked how he looks. So this is going to be our wizard. And lastly, the Fright Nights. This is our Fright Nights crew. I have picked up a few of the newest CMF, the Fright Nights CMFs. I actually was able to find some barcodes that I was able to scan, and so I got a few of these Fright Nights, and I gave him a new head, and I changed the head, and I also gave him a new like hairpiece that I had. I think I may have gotten this in a bulk lot. I'm not real sure, but it fits him really well with this head specifically. And then these guys behind him have some of these like other types of helmets and shields and things. But this is our Fright Night Lord, and he is going to be coming to the wizard to do some dealings for getting maybe some potions or something like that. And again, that's kind of stuff that's not really going to pertain to the actual story itself, but are more just like little set pieces that I really wanted to build. And again, potentially future, like maybe we build a Fright Nights, like his castle or something. I don't know. I just really wanted to include him because the Fright Nights were such a cool thing that I had back in the 90s. I actually have the original Fright Night Lord. And the original helmet that didn't have these like angled wings, they were just straight. And I really, it's still in my inventory somewhere in my minifigs. But yeah, when the new Fright Night came out, I was like, I think we should use it. Let's put them in. So the Fright Nights are going to be in there, and they're not going to have a huge role in the story, but they're going to look really cool. And then, of course, we'll have peasants and people who are working in the Lion Knights outpost and all that kind of stuff. I don't really have them laid out too much. But again, all of this could be subject to change. But these are just sort of rough ideas. And actually building the minifigs has really helped shape kind of like the story and the idea that I want to tell by using the minifigs and building them and kind of, I don't know, each little part you put on them, you kind of think like, oh yeah, you can kind of give it a better sense of their place and their story and their, all that kind of stuff, because the story is really, really important. And I'm excited to start. It's a massive undertaking that I am not qualified to do at all, but you got to start somewhere, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. So we're going to end up probably doing a bunch of videos where we do bits and pieces builds, start small, start to, I'll try to bring you guys along with the process as much as possible, like when I'm down here doing things. So these videos will be scattered throughout. So this isn't going to be like everything moving forward, but this will definitely be videos coming out probably every, I don't know, it's just kind of when I work on it. But in between, we'll still be doing some more sorting videos and tips and tricks stuff and, different things like that. Other builds, other set builds, because we have a ton in there that I still need to build that I want to display as well, along with live builds and all that kind of stuff. So there'll be a lot more, but this is kind of like our main project, our main ongoing project moving forward. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's really daunting, but I'm looking forward to taking on the process and the challenge. But that's it. Everybody, let me know if you have any suggestions, thoughts, comments, whatever. Let me know down in the comment section below. And thank you for watching the video, and thank you for coming along. I hope that you enjoy the story that I want to tell here and the build that we want to make, and it's going to be crazy. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but that's the beauty of it. So everybody, thank you again. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, remember, keep on building. Jim out!